Alright, video number 2 with the audio off, so this should be better. So what I didn't go over in the last video was, what do you do when you're out of tickets and you don't have any silver? Well, you can go over to here to PvP, and since you've got Oriax, he should be strong enough to defeat most players at your level. So what you do, you basically just fight until you get an opponent that is much weaker than you, and then you're able to beat them kind of easily. But you're going to want to fight without using Oriax, so he has full health when you enter a fight. So like right here, I might win. How much damage is he going to do? 50,000? Oh yeah, I win. So basically, you just do this with your weak mutants, and then you would be able to find someone lower. So I just fought a level 400. It's going to go even higher. But for you, the enemies should be around level 20. Like sum of levels equals 20. And then you just want to go and get your zombie, your warrior, your robot, or whoever you're using. And then you'll find a weaker opponent, and then you'll select Oriax. And he should be able to take out your opponents for you. It's like right here, I'm probably going to lose. Yeah, I lost. But basically, you could also just do that, or you just surrender, whichever. And since it doesn't cost any tickets, you can just keep trying on this. Of course, it might be annoying if you're just not finding the right opponent. But yeah, you fight here, you get XP, and then eventually you'll level up. And that'll refill your tickets for you. And then you can fight more. So there's that. And then basically with here, you'll be, when you're fighting in this, the challenge arena of the events section, there should be a reactor token in every one of them, and then you'll be able to eventually go into the mutant reactor. So you're probably wondering, what is a reactor token? Well, if you go in here, not the orbs, it should be in, I guess it's in the supplies, but it's not specified as anything here. So you go over here, it's a bunch of random event stuff, but here we are. The reactor tokens are red and white, and it'll give you a description if you go in your inventory here and you check it out. It allows you to spin in the exclusive mutant reactor. And then you have your challenge tokens, which I mentioned a bit on the earlier video. Allows you to go into your challenge hall and purchase an exclusive reward there. And then your jackpot tokens, you can either use them to spin and the jackpot, or you go over to your exchange office and you spend them here. I like to buy golden stars, but that's just because I've already got these characters. I actually noticed I don't even have this guy yet, so I'm going to try and save them up. And the way to get these tokens faster, if you don't have any tickets and you're just sick of PvP, then let's say you've been stockpiling some medkits, then as I mentioned in the previous video, you can go over here and get your medkit crafting going, and eventually you should be able to get rewards you're actually looking for. Like, you might not be looking for those medkits, but it's valuable, especially if you're trying to get your mutants to be alive and you're ready for a fight but they have no health. You can definitely use a couple medkits. So basically you're getting rewards like last episode I mentioned, but the audio was pretty bad, so you probably couldn't hear me over the game sound. But as you can see, if you spend 3, I just got 2 rank 2 things, orbs, those are very valuable. But if you use 3, you're never going to get that reward. You might get 1 rank 1 orb. But if you use 4 medkits, you're able to get a lot more valuable stuff. Which is definitely better than 3. But if you spend 7, I think there is a chance at getting even better stuff. But that's very expensive, and 7 medkits at a time, you're going to run out very quickly. So you could do 3 for the lowest value, or you could do 4 for the best value, or 7 for the maximum value. But medkits do take a while to build up in your inventory, so I recommend doing 4. Because, like, as you can see, 2 of these at a time. And in the previous video, I did mention how you can just keep crafting these into better items. So you do this, which in turn gives you a rank 2 orb. And if you use 7 of the same exact one, you'll get a upgraded version. But if I was to just start mixing them, then I'm going to get a completely random one. So whichever you're trying to get, if you're trying to like get full on attack, then you'd want to just make attack orbs. Or if you're doing health orbs or health regeneration. And then the colors. So this yellowish tan, this is like a permanent stat upgrade, so health, critical damage, and attack. And these, the dark bluish gray, these are ability upgrades. So you've got health regeneration, retaliation, shield, wound damage, boost, and curse. And then this, the XP, is just bonus experience for every fight you do. And then this one, this purple with a yellowish glow in the center, this is an ability upgrade. Or I should say, just an ability. So what this does is, I can show you over here. Let's say you clicked on your robot character. He's going to have shield as his ability. But let's say you're like, well, can I have another ability? The answer is yes. So this purple and yellow is adding an extra ability to your character. So let's say you wanted him to be able to survive better. So you could add curse. So his attack will actually make an opponent's next attack 26% less from this guy. So basically, to try and make that simple, basically 26% of this amount of damage would be about 1,000. So if you hit your opponent with this much damage, his next attack will be about 1,000 less than what it normally would be. So I could show that off in a fight real quick, but I will get back to that. I'll go to that in a second. So let's say you add curse, and then right here, you would then gain the ability to add curse orbs. So right now you won't be able to see health regen or anything besides normal stats and the shield. That's because this character doesn't have that. So if you were to add the curse, then you'd be able to add curse orbs to him to increase his curse damage. The reason why I wouldn't put this on there is because he's a basic character. Bounty Hunter is used for gaining extra silver. These guys have about triple the amount of normal mutants when it comes to their silver production. Your best silver producing character would be Big Boss, but he's behind a paywall, so if you're not going to give $10 to this game, then you're not going to get this guy, because he's worth $10 US dollars in this shop here. He's available every now and then, so it's like if you really want more silver for your account, you definitely want to pick this guy up. And then there's also, where is he? There's also the banker. Yeah, there he is. So the banker, this guy produces about 9 times as much. So I believe the bounty hunters are 3 times, and then the banker is 5 times. Yeah, my bad. So he's 5 times the amount, and then the boss, I think, is 10 times the normal amount. So when it comes to silver production, you'd want to rank up your silver characters, because every time a character levels up, their health increases, their damage increases, the amount of XP they need increases, and the amount of silver they produce each hour increases. So, why I wouldn't equip this orb again is because he's basic. And what I mean by basic is he is base level. He's got no stars. Because if we go over to here, this is our breeding center. And as you can see right now, mine is full. And I don't want to speed it up because that's expensive. So I'm just going to wait instead. And then these are called gold furnaces. These things produce gold for you. The developers bring them out very rarely. So if they ever show up and you're just really wanting some premium currency called the gold, then definitely pick a few of these up. But if you're trying to be free player, the developers did add them in the bingo. So if you took the game very, very slowly and you slowly collected all the characters that you could, then you'll definitely be able to get 1 gold furnace here for free, a few others, but yeah, you'll definitely probably want to invest some money into this game if you really like it, of course. So let's see. Let's go over the stars. So when you start out, characters, let's go with the warrior. So you start out with this guy, the warrior. Pretty basic, average, pretty good. Starting out, 380 damage, pretty good. And then eventually you'll start getting bronze stars, which increases your character's stats by 10%. So, we can go over to the inventory and you'll be able to get the description. So you go to cross mutation. It'll tell you exactly what you're looking to find. So right here, 10% increase. I don't have, oh yeah, I do have a silver. So this is 30% stronger. And this is 75% stronger. And then finally, 100%. And it just tells you reactor collection mutants are not eligible. That just means these ones, because this is a gold star, but it's a reskin, so it's different. It's a separate character, basically, in the game's eyes. So you'd want to go over here to be able to verify, like let's go to the Enforcer. He's one of your starter characters you'll get, very powerful. He'll definitely be very good. He was my first platinum mutant, so he's very good. Definitely a character you want to have. And he's just cool. I mean, like, gold star, you get Iron Man, basically. Pretty cool. And then you'll see here, this is what they were talking about. This is a reactor mutant character. So he does not apply to becoming a platinum. You need the base versions of the character. So base gold star, 2 of these to become a platinum. But you won't get there right away. It takes a little while. So let's go with, I can actually just freeze some characters and bring in some basic ones so I can show you on the beginner level of what you'd want to do. So I'll just freeze some of these and pull out some level 1s or something. So we go over to My Mutants, scroll down a bit, let's get down to the more base level characters. So here's like level 20s. I'll grab some base ones, so zombie warriors. Let's grab some ones that you guys would be using right away. So you'd probably, if you're lucky, you'll be obtaining, so here's the Enforcer. Let's give him silver. You'll be given the chance to get him pretty quickly. Here's a gold dire despot. He's pretty close to getting right away too. And let's see, I don't think I want a gold, but yeah, looks like I'm a big fan of just throwing gold characters in the fridge. So here's one, Nordic Nightmare. So this is a reactor character, reactor mutant, but yeah, so we grab those. Since I've got so much silver, I could just keep buying tickets endlessly, but I don't want to do that. So we go over here. And now, these are level 1s. You got 2 bronze stars. You click fight. And now you want to scroll all the way down. Well, I would. You're probably not going to have this much, but you know, my account's pretty high up there. So, you got a bunch of different elements here. We got warrior zombie, double warrior, and warrior robot. So, warrior, necros warrior, and warrior cyber. So, when you want to play strategically in this game, basically, your opponents are always going to attack the person right here. They're going to target this one, and then they're going to target this one, and then this one. So you're going to want to put the character you think is best to just take all the hits right here. And they're only not going to target this person if they have very high retaliation. So the AI they're smart, but you can always use that to your advantage. So right now, Warrior, he's going to do 50% less damage to the Zoomorph, because if you look at here, this gives you your chart. Your damages are all right here. So Warrior, being completely destroyed by Zoomorph, because on the scale here it says Zoomorph does 50% more. It doesn't tell you what's weakest against, so all you need to do is say, okay, so that does 50% more damage. So if I was to use this to attack that, I'm going to do 50% less because they have an advantage. So it'll tell you all of what's they're strongest against. So basically you just turn that around and say, okay, so Cosmos gets 25% boosted attack damage against it from the Mythic. So if it was to attack a Mythic, it would do that much less. So we don't want to do 50% less damage to this, because if you read there, it's weaker against it, and Cyber does boost it against Warriors, so Warriors are pretty much outmatched here. But since the space, the Cosmos, doesn't have anything to do with the Warrior, they're just going to be able to do normal damage. So 509 right there. And we could actually take out the space one. And you can also look at the top here, who's going to attack. That alien was about to hit him, but since we just took that alien out, now it lost the turn. So now you can use your Dire Despot. If you look at the chart again, they do 25% boost against Cyber. So we can actually, I think, one-shot this one. Yeah, so that's Cyber Mutant's dead. And now we're going to lose our police guy. Forgot what they're called, our robot down there. And now our Nordic Nightmare, that's what this guy is called. He's going to do pathetic damage because he's a warrior. But this one isn't going to do any more damage or less, because on the chart they don't have anything going on with the Zoomorph, so you can just go right ahead and one-shot him. Because Dire Despot is a very powerful mutant. And those were just level 1s. Because, yeah, I mean, it would be so boring if I was to just pull out my levels, like, 200. You'd just be like, how am I supposed to learn from that? You don't have to use any skill there. You could use the weakest characters and still destroy everything. So, my character's just leveled up to level 3 because I have all my boosts activated. So this reduces critical chances by your opponents by a certain percentage. I believe it's 50%, but if you went your inventory and checked, it would tell you exactly. This increases your critical chance, and this increases your XP gain by double, and this increases it by triple, so you get like a times 5. I think it's times 5. Basically, it's times a lot. And you wouldn't want to use these in here. This would be a waste, unless you've got a lot of tickets saved up. Let's say like you were collecting all this, but a lot of silver, and you were just going into the supplies and purchasing tickets over and over until you had like 1,000. Then sure, because you plan to just go through all 100 fights at the same time then. But you would only want to use XP boosts when you're going into like the campaign, and then you're going to be starting out over here. But yeah, you'll just want to be using these XP boosts when you're farming stuff that has a high amount of XP. because it's kind of weak with like 50 XP. That's pretty good compared to the beginning campaign stage where it's 90. Because when you get higher up into the challenge here, it'll go from 50 to like 70, and then it gets higher up to the 100. So it gets pretty good. So if we go here, select our guys again, and again, you want the character that's going to be taking the damage on the third spot. Because you don't want the character you think's going to be doing all the damage to get killed. Because then you're in trouble. Then you're going to have to improvise, and you might even lose. And losing is very annoying, because you're just like, you get a tiny bit of XP, you get like no silver, you kind of just feel like you wasted your tickets. So you want to make sure you've got a team that can handle the fight. So like right here, it's another zoomorph, so he's got an advantage. As you can see, this thing, this dog creature, it just hit him because it's a double zombie, meaning it'll do 25% less damage to these guys, but they also have retaliation, but they don't have it yet. Once you reach level 4 with your character, their ability gets unlocked. But yeah, the AI is going to want to do as much damage as they can, so they're going to try and target people they can do the most damage. But this guy's a fast one, and fast mutants are typically weaker in the damage department than a slower mutant. So you're going to take Vorpal Cleave here, and you're going to want to hit the opponent that you think is going to take the most damage, which you don't have to think, you can find out by reading the scale here. We do 25% more damage to the Necro, so you'd want to just hit this one, but also you might want to hit this one because you'll be able to kill them, where 600 plus 25%, like 750 about, to like 800, they're still going to have a good amount of health, where they might be able to survive 2 more hits. So you might want to hit this one instead, so that the next character you select will automatically be able to defeat them. So let's see, yeah, 779, so we could have killed this one, but if you weren't sure, you'd just be like, okay, let's go for the one you guaranteed to defeat. And now, since this dude leveled up a couple times, he is a gold star, so he gets 75% more stats than a normal one does. So he's going to be a lot stronger than your average mutant. And he just looks cool. Like, look at the glowing eyes, the orangish sword. It's pretty edgy, if you ask me. So now, there's only one opponent left, and they're just attacking this one. But he's definitely going to be the biggest tank, because he's a gold star, so he's going to have a lot more health than the silver, which only gets 30% more. As you see, they leveled up. So now, the Enforcer, that's his name. He gains retaliation of 15%, meaning any opponent that hits him is going to take 126 damage. But that's only if they are also a warrior mutant. They'll take 25% more of this damage if they are a Necro, which is the green icon, and they'll take 50% more damage of this if they are a Mythic, that purple icon. So, you can always put that into your strategies. And the Dire Despot gets 30% of his damage back as health, and that also applies. All abilities apply to damage, so if the damage is 50% more, you can expect this to be 50% more. If it's 50% weaker, you can expect this to be 50% less, and 25% also. So, yeah, pretty much you just keep going through, destroying the enemy. And when you're a beginner, you're going to have Oriax here as like your main source of victories, because when you start out, you're going to have your basic